Memester of the Week contains fantasy violence, drug use, and horror elements. A list of topics, themes, and subjects featured in this episode is included in the description. If you ever feel unsafe or suicidal, please call your local crisis center, emergency services, or a national hotline. A link to an international list of crisis hotlines is listed in the description below. Remember, you matter.
We find ourselves in the room of doors, this circular room where every wall is a flat angle facing towards another flat angle filled with doors leading to various parts of the house unknown. And we see this open gateway before us that looks like it should lead into any random part of the house, but instead immediately starts concaving down into this dark cavern with stone steps leading down in a spiral and this white light of pure magic floating up and illuminating us. And we see the gang gathered in their spell circle on the floor of the room of doors.
The university crew, JT, Clea, Tony, you might want to sit this one out. Unless you want to come, it might be cool.
I don't know. I don't really want to volunteer anyone to walk into this bright, vast expanse of void with us. That doesn't seem like the right vibe.
I mean, it's a choice. We're
it's
giving
a
them
choice.
the option. If you want to come, it's probably cool.
I feel like we've traumatized them enough.
I don't know, Tony, are you good? I feel like last summer was kind of fun.
Hey, man.
JT?
I don't think I ever made a character voice for JT because he was pretty much just like a dude.
JT nods with an attempt to be knowing, but it betrays confusion.
Yep.
No, JT is probably
doesn't have a voice.
Of the three is probably the most aware of weird stuff because he was attacked by vampires.
Yeah, he was. Tony helped. Clea.
Tony helped me fight vampires. Clea is new to this, so I'm throwing it to them first.
Yeah, I have a character building question for these NPCs because these are Mordecai's friend group. So real quick, this will be fun. Tyler, I want you to come up with one trait for Clea, Tony, and JT, and then the rest of us will give each of them one trait as well.
Trait,
like a character trait. Is this person curious? Is this person afraid? Is this person a person who puts on a brave face but is actually very scared? Is this a puff your chest out and act tough kind of guy, or is this a very realistic pragmatic person?
Interesting question. I would say Tony is pretty pragmatic.
I would say that as well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's not I don't think Tony is risk averse in his pragmatism. I thought, because he was pretty down to go fight vampires very quickly last time, but that might have been out of loyalty to his friend JT more than anything. So there's some stuff that I have suspicions about with JT. I feel like JT's kind of in a Blade situation. So I don't know how that affects his personality, but I would say prior to that, JT was kind of like a people pleaser.
Okay.
That's kind of why he got caught up in that party stuff. Because he was trying to make, he was trying to do things for people to make them happy with him. But it kind of got him in that bad situation. Clea is the wild card here. I'd say Clea is pretty like strong-willed,
Mm-hmm.
maybe to the point of stubbornness, maybe, but strong-willed. Those are the 3 traits I would ascribe to those 3 of my homies.
Okay, I love that. So we have strong-willed for Clea, pragmatic for Tony, and JT is a people pleaser.
Who is in a Blade situation,
Yeah.
which means something,
Indeed.
probably to people who have seen
Yeah.
Blade.
And not
You-
to us.
You guys
who have
haven't
not.
seen Blade?
Actually, no, which is amazing
my
considering
God.
who I am. We can
Afraid
talk
not.
about how good Blade is in a
True.
second.
Great Marvel hero.
So, Amelia, I want you to pick one of these people and give them a trait. It can be Clea, Tony, or JT. You don't have to know anything about these characters. We are building these characters together and kind of fleshing them out more right here. So you don't have to worry about like,
Okay.
oh, well, is this a pre-established thing? Because really, these are NPCs that we haven't seen a lot of, especially like JT.
I think Clea is a covert introvert.
Okay.
I think she puts on the guise that she's
Ooh, okay.
extroverted, but she gets sick of people pretty
Wants
quick
to
and
dip.
wants to retreat back.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like that fits
Yeah.
really well with us like talking about her earlier in the arc and being invited over to the house
Yeah.
after revealing that monsters exist. And she's like,
Yeah.
I want a bubble tea and to go watch Netflix for a while. Peace. Like, I need to be home. Yeah, I love that. I think that that's a very, very good pick. Okay. Then Phil, give me a trait for Tony or JT.
I'm going to say that JT, while being kind of like just a guy, also secretly has like is super into houseplants in his
Oh, okay.
dorm. Like his half of the room, which is the part by the window, had to be. Got a bunch of different little plants and a couple little herbs. Not any kind of like
Not any
crazy
illicit
herbs. Perhaps. I don't know.
I'm writing down very into botany. Yeah, green thumb.
Yeah,
Yeah, green
Yeah.
thumb, if you will.
nice.
He's passionate about his craft, and he doesn't talk about it with a lot of people.
I would bounce that back to Mord because like Mordecai is the person who would know JT the best. If JT is very into botany, is he the person who's like growing pot in his dorm room, or
Yeah.
is he staying away from that? He's definitely growing pot in the dorm.
Hundo P and Mordecai helps.
That checks out.
I'm going to put in my notes for
Yeah.
JT with capitalized grows TM.
That's so sus. I love it.
that's
Perfect.
JT
that's so fucking
grows
good.
TM.
Tony, our NB barista, in addition to being like pragmatic, I think this fits well with what we saw of Tony in Mordecai's one shot. I think Tony's good under pressure.
True. Gotta be your barista at a university.
Exactly. Now that we've had our little aside talking to Clea and Tony and JT and asking like, hey, do you guys want to wait this one out while we go investigate the big cave? I think Tony will speak up for the group and say, yeah, man, I just came over to look at a comet, see the stars and everything. I heard that you guys might have like an observatory or something, or at least like a nice roof to look at, watch everything from.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm really not jiving with going down into a cave of mysterious magical light. That's not where I'm at right now.
It will be easier to keep you guys safe if you don't walk into danger.
If it's even dangerous.
Yeah, man, I don't know. We don't know if it's dangerous, and also
The unknown is always dangerous.
Dan, I fuck with you. Like, this is why we get along.
Oh, I guess we do.
Just in case you guys get hurt, I'll make sure LaFleur protects you. And here you got if you get hurt, just drink these. and you'll be right as rain. And I give them the 3 bottles of super serum. That's 1 each.
Okay.
No.
So, and you know, if you're in a situation,
Are you doing this in front of Mr. Ryan?
Of Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, are you doing this in front of us?
guys, as a drug connoisseur, I am a master of the handoff.
That's act under pressure if I ever fucking heard it. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
These other 2 people know who that is and what that is.
I just want to say, narratively, I'm making a case against making this a roll because I think it's more interesting for them to have it. I just don't think Dan would let it happen.
Well, I got an
Yeah.
11, so
God damn,
it's true.
fucking
Yeah.
crushed it.
Oh
Crushed
my
it.
God.
All right.
Well, the fates
Yeah,
have
not
decided
even
then.
LaFleur
Yeah,
knows.
Jesus.
that's awesome.
Amazing.
And I just whisper into JT's ear. Let me know if you need any blood.
Bro, what?
Yeah, okay, guys. So, yeah, like I said, get hurt. Just take a little sippy sip, and then, yeah, we'll be back soon. This is gonna be pretty cool. LaFleur, show them to the observational deck. Star Trek reference.
Yep.
and
I
we-
don't think it counts as a reference if you have to say a Star Trek reference after that.
No, I think
I just pointed at
I
Dan.
think Mordecai says that
I said
out loud.
I say it out loud, and I pointed at Dan when I said it specifically.
Oh, gotcha.
So I'm going to assign stats to these NPCs because I think it's fun. JT will have charm,
Makes
Tony
sense.
will have cool, and Cleo will have tough, and they will all roll with like a +1.
That's awesome. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yay.
And then when they drink the serum, who knows what'll happen?
Then our circus is going to get a whole bunch of new monkeys.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
awesome.
boy.
I love being a demon of
Oh
chaos.
god.
Wait, what if that's Mordecai's thing? I'm a tiefling. I have demonic ancestry.
That's what happens in the alt fiction where we play like D&D as the characters. They get sucked into Dungeon World or something like that. Yeah, I think Mr. Sitwell will speak up and say, okay, well, so LaFleur, you'll stay here with the kids. Hopefully everything will be fine. This shouldn't take too long. I think we'll be okay. I'll go down with Journey and Dan and Mordecai and make sure things are set up there, and we'll look into what's going on down there.
Sick. Papa Sitwell's coming.
Jason realizing he has to do both characters.
Yeah, right. LaFleur's just like, yes, of course. Everything will be taken care of here. I won't have an issue. And LaFleur like snaps his fingers and a halberd appears in his hand. No harm will befall anyone who is a guest of this house.
Well said, LaFleur.
Mordecai's just mouth agape. What the fuck? You can do that?
Well, since someone decided to tell everyone I'm a homunculus, I thought, hey, the jig is up.
Well, to be fair, I only told that one guy. I feel like you made a choice just then to kind of run with it.
Still disappointed.
Yeah, you only told the one guy who's investigating all of us.
Well, sorry, Dan. You decided to try to
Yep.
run away. I'm still in the fix the problem mode.
All right.
Guys, maybe we should step into the light before it goes away.
Wait,
Yeah, boys, let's not fight right now. We can talk about it later.
All right, everybody, just move towards the light.
are we gonna die?
Don't bother holding hands.
Eventually, but not right now,
Okay.
is the answer to that one.
Mordecai about faces and just starts walking into the light.
Oh, wait. Okay.
I had 3 people tell me to do the same thing. I can't resist
Okay.
anymore. That's my rule.
God, if only.
Well,
Wait. Actually, everybody do hold hands.
Jump in together.
Okay, yeah, you guys make your way into the room that leads into the cavern. The walk down is it takes a while. It takes probably like 10 minutes, I'd say, to get down all of the steps. And when you are finally at the bottom, the cavern starts to open out into this like wide expanse, stalagmites and stalactites decorating the room. You see this soft white light emanating from what seems like just around the corner.
All right, fuck it. I just keep walking.
Are we still holding hands or no?
Journey's not letting go of anybody's hand until they let go first.
Okay,
Wow.
I let go. And I keep walking.
Hey!
Bro.
I just realized I fully fucking forgot that Mothman has been here the entire time.
He's like the fifth wheel over there.
Did he come too?
Yeah, he comes.
Nice. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah.
God damn it.
He's in the back of the line with Mr. Sitwell as well.
Behind us? Right in front of my salad?
I have to leave that
Journey, I don't know how to say this. Your dad gets around.
Listen to Memester of the Week. Mothman comes.
The Mothman comes.
With the party.
The Mothman cometh.
And the Mothman taketh away.
Yeah, Indrid is also here.
As we're descending, I'll ask, so Mr. Cole, did you see any of this?
Every time I try, all I see is that light.
Oh, wait.
So it's something about that.
Mr. Cold, I have a question. So every time you try to view the house, you just see this light?
That's all I can see. And then I just see the same vision of destruction that I had.
Okay. All right.
Would you say your vision is being pulled to this light? Perhaps magnetically?
I would guess so, yeah.
All right, Dan, I whispered to Dan, I'm so confident this dude is actually a moth. Drawn to the light?
I was thinking about the relationship to the comet, but yeah.
Dan, what are you talking about?
He is a moth and also a man.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks, Mr. Cold.
He is as much man as he is moth.
Oh, dude. True. So he's like feelings. That makes sense. I've seen The Fly. I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, let's just go into the light.
Yeah, that will probably go well. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all good.
I'm holding Dan's hand. just going into the light.
But hey,
But not mine.
We switched.
I was
More.
switched.
more carefully, okay?
Yeah, okay. And I'm just like tugging.
Yeah, Dan's in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I accidentally started holding both of your hands and we got in this weird ring situation when we stopped moving.
Mr. Sitwell and Mothman are also holding hands, but then each of them are like holding either Mordecai or Journey's hand, so it is like a full circle, and they're like, how did we even how did this happen?
It's not
like
like
that-
it's dark in
Letting your
here.
days go by.
Yeah.
There is light under the ground.
Ooh, that was a good one. Same as it ever was.
Yeah.
We go into the light.
We're in the cavern. You guys are moving through,
Carefully.
looking around. You approach where this like light is emanating from. There's a certain point where the cavern just drops away. It's like this underground like cliffside. You see over the side of this cliff, emanating from below, this like deep stream of not quite liquid, but almost like magma, like a plasma of sorts that is moving through the earth below, and it's emanating this white light. And I think everyone is a magic user here as well. And I feel like you just, it's like static has filled the air on a particularly stormy day, and you just like feel every hair on your body starting to like stand up.
Sick. This place is amazing.
Dan kind of like holds his, well, he would like to hold his hand out and examine his tattoo, but he's not able to at this moment due to the holding hands.
Due to the holding hands.
Can I investigate the plasma goo?
Yeah, man. Please.
Okay, it's a mixed success.
Okay,
I
mixed success.
I can ask you one
Yep.
question.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Does Journey or Journey's dad, who she can turn to and ask, know anything, or does this like look familiar to either of them in any way?
In the reading that Journey did about the comment and like the nature of magic and things like that, I think Journey could turn to her dad and like say, this looks kind of familiar, but I'm not quite sure. Have you heard of anything like this? And together you can kind of come to, this is a large source of magical energy, and there is literature around the world about like a interconnected web of magic called ley lines.
Okay.
Functionally, it would be like tectonic plates of the earth, but for magical
Magic.
use.
Oh.
The
Okay.
way that magic distributes itself around the world. It is born of the earth and it comes out from it.
So if I kneel down to get closer to this magic goop flow, does anything happen? Like, does anything happen with Journey's necklace?
Yeah, I would say the tools that you use, the symbology that you use as like kind of sources of magic. So like Journey's necklace and Dan's tattoo, especially. For Mordecai, you don't have like a consistent thing that you use other than a blunt, actually. So I think what it is it's the blunt behind Mordecai's ear at all times.
The blunt lights on fire.
I was gonna say like, I was gonna give a spicy suggestion and say maybe Mordecai's like lips or his lungs or something.
What about the collar?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The collar as well. Well, I would show in different forms. So for Journey, her necklace would like light up with that like familiar orange glow that has always been like Journey and her grandmother's magic. For Dan, it would be like the purple glow of his tattoo. But for Mordecai, you would get like a light pink kind of sheen coming off of Abby's collar around your neck. And then also from inside of you, from your lungs, you are like breathing out this like light wisps of silvery smoke in this place.
He's going ghost.
He's Phantom.
Dude, if Mordecai ever dies and you guys have to bring him back, he's absolutely ghost monstrous. That would fuck so hard. That would be so good.
Would that make like would that affect Abby at all? Would Abby be a ghost of a ghost?
Wait. Jason, what would happen if Mordecai...
You just hang out more.
You think Mordecai would die if I jumped into all this goo?
Stop.
I think that's 100%.
I am holding your hand.
Yeah, we're holding hands. It's not happening.
So if we all jump in, we all become ghosts.
Yeah, man, that's what happens when you die.
Yeah.
Just
Oh
in
my
general.
God.
Wait, so I was going to say,
I don't think that was
if I
ever the
became a
goal.
ghost and Abby's a ghost, we could go full Gurren Lagann and do manly combining. That would be pretty cool.
It would be cool. Don't do it.
Hey, Dan, get your gun. Shoot me in the face right now and throw my body into the goo.
Throw my body to the goo where it belongs.
What is up with you lately, dude?
I'm just smiling. It would be cool.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's this is all like pure magic. We shouldn't touch it or do anything with it. Let's keep going.
We can't like touch it a little?
No, let's not touch it a little. Like,
Can we try to scoop it up into a container?
No,
Oh,
we
it's
have
not, like,
we have
it's
enough.
off the cliffside. This is happening to you, and you are well over like 60 feet up from where this is.
Anybody got any rope?
Nope, let's
No.
go.
Let's keep going.
All right.
Let's see what else is in this cavern. And then we can play with the magic
full steam
goo.
ahead, and I'm looking for a path down.
I think you can find a path down where it will come out to what looks like a ritual circle, similar to what you guys did in the room of doors, but it looks decrepit and that it hasn't been used in possibly centuries. Mordecai, roll investigate a mystery.
Yes, sir. 11. That's
Goddamn.
2 11s in a row.
You can ask 3 questions or 2 questions. I can't remember the difference.
I will start cross-referencing symbols with my mom's journal. Investigate a mystery. Oh, I'm investigating a phenomenon, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't like a specific question listed. It's a more general question is, what page or section of the journal connects to the symbols that I'm seeing here?
You get into your mother's notes about specifically like her research, and she starts talking about a time where they had some guests over to the house and LaFleur kind of like took you out to like the backyard to kind of play with you and watch you and take care of you while they entertained these guests. And your mother started working with an organization and started developing and refining tools for the use of like alchemical symbology. And that's part of what you see here in this space is a lot of alchemical symbols mixed with traditional magics.
And so what was this place going to do?
Discerning from your mother's notes and like the usage of symbols, this ritual circle was used to manipulate magic directly from the ley line.
Hey guys, gather round. I think I know what this place was for.
You do?
Yeah, check out my mom's journal. Wait, can they read it when they look at it? Or is it all
Nope.
blank? Oh,
You're the
shit.
only one who can read it.
Damn it.
Mordecai, I don't see anything.
Okay, so I was...
Dan just on stairs.
Okay, so actually I met up with Kate like a couple months ago, and we were hanging out in the quad, and then she like Itachi tapped my forehead, and then I was able to read this book. I think, well, that's a problem.
Are you sure you just haven't had too many weeds today?
Don't
There's
gaslight
nothing
me.
on there.
That's actually pretty rude of you to say that.
Too many weeds.
Journey, you know weed is not a countable noun.
That's true.
I don't know anything anymore. I'll be honest.
That's true. That's true.
I'm stressing. There's a meteor.
Don't question my reality. Okay.
We have more concerning things to think about than countable and uncountable nouns.
Can you write out what you're seeing on something
For
else?
sure. And I just get down on the ground and use my finger to scribble.
Mort, I have a notebook, and she like pulls out her little spiral
He's
notebook.
already doing it.
I'm already doing it.
Let him work.
Are we sure we know what will happen if you just draw that on the ground? Like, it's not gonna do anything, right?
Well, Journey, you don't even believe that it's in the book, so what does it matter?
Magic requires intention. I think it should be okay.
I'm intending to draw it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna scrawl it all out. Does anybody recognize this shit?
Do I recognize this shit?
That's a great question. Do we recognize this shit? Probably not. I probably don't.
I would say with the like brotherhood training that Dan has, he recognizes some of the symbols, but like alchemy was not a main focus of your sect.
Yeah. It was never my forte, and I don't know how much of the Brotherhood's forte it was at all.
You
So
do see
I can recognize sort of the nature of it, but probably not the
you
details.
do see at least one symbol that is very familiar to all of you, and it is
Is it from the Dark Watchers?
the same symbol that was used to control the Dark Watchers, that circle with a line through the center.
Wait, hold on. I remember that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mord, was your mom into making Dark Watchers?
Brother, I didn't even know my mom was into this stuff until like when Kate Itachi tapped my forehead and gave me this book, so...
That's a lot to take in.
Okay.
I mean, we process in our own ways, and I pull the blunt down from my ear and light it and just start smoking.
Mr. GM, Mr. Keeper, how old is this place?
This place is centuries old. This place has been around for a long time.
Is this place older than the house?
Ooh.
Ask the house.
Yeah. You just scream from down the corridor, "Hey, house!"
It's probably very echoey in here, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a reverb. Yeah, I think this place is older than even the base of the house is.
So your parents must have found this place here and decided to build over it, maybe to protect it, maybe to use it, maybe both.
I would say Mistrend has existed for 400 or 500 years. This place is much older than that.
Wait, do you guys think that the life of the house is spawned by this stream of magic beneath it?
I'm almost wondering if this place is the house, if we're in its heart right now.
Whoa!
And the house above is like an extension of it.
I yell out, "House, if you're here, give us a sign!"
Roll plus bond with the house.
Oh, where the fuck do I roll that?
Just roll, you have +1. 2d6 +1.
I got a 7.
You see a stalactite near, in your line of sight, reforms itself into a thumbs up.
I grab Journey by the shoulders. Journey, did you see that?
I think so.
Because it's a stalactite and it's hanging from the roof, I like to imagine that it is being held on by the thumb.
Yeah.
That's great.
So it is just essentially a hammer.
That's great. I love it.
Yep.
Extending from the ceiling.
I give one of the stalactites a hug. Hi, house.
This is wild.
Yeah. I didn't know that a place like this existed in North America. This is huge.
Do you know of other places like this?
I mean, there's stories, there's lore about seats of power across the world, but I've never seen one.
And where does the power come from for these places?
He just points over.
Do I know about ley lines?
That's a great question. I think you...
I think we said earlier that I was familiar with the concept of them, but I don't know if I know much.
I think you're familiar with the concept of them, and as Journey and Mr. Sitwell had been explaining earlier about it being tectonic plates. You remember your solo episode. You remember your dream and the visions that you saw breaking you out of the dream state into something else. And you remember that moment of seeing a golden net kind of cast across the world and then seeping into it. And you realize that that's what that was the depictions of the ley lines.
Dan has a little bit of a middle distance staring moment. So this has been here since time immemorial.
Yeah, I mean, as far as we know, the ley lines come from the earth. However it got there, we don't know, but that's where magic is thought to stem from, or at least a sort of magic.
But is there any reason to believe this comet has crashed here before, or at any of the intersections, or at any of these points? What I'm asking is, what's different?
Wait, Dan, I had a kind of scary thought just now. So, Journey, correct me if I'm wrong, because you're pretty smart, too.
Wow, thank you.
Comets are celestial bodies, right?
Yep.
And it takes a long time for them to get here, right?
Yep.
So what if, this, ley line place is normal, but the alchemical ring thing here that my mom was playing with that she found down here.
Oh, no.
When it was made, started to pull it here, and then now we're kind of reaping the rewards of somebody who was playing with that, like, all those hundreds of years ago.
That sounds terrible, but very, very plausible. Not that I know anything about this.
Hold on. I just had an idea.
What's your idea?
I'd like to enter the alchemical laboratory area if possible. Have we found it?
Yeah, we're in it, right?
Yeah, so there wasn't like a proper laboratory with like beakers and like research here, but what there is here is a like spell circle that uses alchemical runes to kind of denote and like create intention.
I'd like to go over to that, and I'm doing like magic calculus in my head, because we know that there is a strong attractive force that is pulling this comet. We know that it's centered here. We know it has something to do with the light. I don't know if it is the light or what, but I would like to try and basically triangulate the location of the source of the attraction, because it is pulling magic, right? Mm-hmm. So if I can create a bunch of like phantom magic pulses and kind of focus on like the direction, I'm thinking maybe I can triangulate the source of this attraction.
Oh.
Okay.
You're like doing some finding the Malaysian Airlines plane triangulation bullshit.
Dude, you're pulsing in my house.
Because I have investigative magic. I have that old black magic.
It's pretty cool.
Can I interface with the circle using that Brotherhood divining power and see what I can find?
Yeah, you can roll investigate a mystery with that.
Okay, can I roll that old black magic?
Yeah.
Which is its own roll? Okay, when I use magic, I can ask a question from investigate a mystery as your effect. Okay, so I'll roll use magic. Do I have any things that are affecting that right now?
Not currently. You're not having to act under pressure, and you have like solid control of your state currently.
Does being near the ley line affect it though?
I would say being near the ley line, if you are, if you're rolling plus weird, will give you a +2. Honestly,
you get weird through osmosis here.
Yeah, like this is the hypercharged zone of magic.
So I'm going to take off my fingerless gloves, and I'm going to sort of look at my tattoo and see the sort of pulsing, like chaotically pulsing, undulating energy. And I would like to take that hand and lay it on the edge of this circle and try to use that eye to like see the vibrations.
Okay.
And trace them to the source. That is a 10 full success.
Nice.
Wonderful. I'm just gonna roll a d6 here. Okay.
And my flexible question for investigate a mystery is, what is the source of the magnetic pull?
You think through the calculus of it, and the source of the magnetic pull is this ley line. It's like water levels, right? And the erosion of rock kind of denotes and tells you where levels normally lie. And with this kind of seismic understanding of what's going on here, you realize that there has been a surge of more magic than usual through this ley line. That something shifted that kind of unlocked and poured more magic into this area than is usual. And so the source of that magnetic pull is the ley line itself, because there is simply too much here. The concentration is causing the phenomenon itself.
So the source of the magnetic pull is the ley line, but something is augmenting it. Something is making it stronger than it should be.
Yeah.
It's like
something has shifted and there is just more magic at this focus than there should be normally.
It's like there's another. It's like, you know how the moon controls the tides. It's pulling something here, and I don't know why.
Oh, so it's like magical gravity.
Oh, how do we reverse that?
Wait, what if? So there's like excess energy in the lines, right? What if we somehow eject or like harness the excess energy? Like let it build up a little bit.
Oh, like a controlled burn.
Yeah, and then we just eject it. And then that ejection hits the comet. We destroy the comet and we kind of, have a controlled discharge of the excess energy at the same time, thus avoiding any future issue for the time being.
I think Mr. Sitwell sits there and is like, just kind of dumbfounded for a second. He's like, Mordecai, that's brilliant.
Hey, what can I say? Thank you.
Yeah, I like this idea
guys,
way more than wasting a plane or two.
Well, just that's a journey. That is plan B. Okay, it's still on the table.
All right, sure. We'll keep it on the table.
I have vague arcano-ecological concerns about the byproduct of basically sapping the largest concentration of the planet's energy and burning it off as, just getting rid of it for no real necessary tangible purpose.
Think of the sea turtles.
Well, imagine, if you will, for a moment, Dan. The house sits atop this ley line, right?
Right.
And the house is our friend. It will be destroyed. If it gets struck, right? So,
yes.
What do you think happens biologically, ecologically, if all of that celestial force, gravitational force, impact kinetic force blows the bitch up? Probably worse.
It's the lesser of two evils, I guess.
So I think it's better because, there is this issue, right, of excess energy build. It's already not natural what's happening to the ley line, right? So we take that excess and we just, like a gun, shoot it into the comet.
I see where you're going with this. I think that's a really good idea. That's probably the best idea you've had in a long time.
Rude, but okay.
Given the circumstances, I feel like that's a justified thing to say.
Continuously rude, but okay.
How are we going to focus it?
That's a good question. You have a gun, right?
I feel like we're going to need something bigger.
Well,
this is we're channeling the force of the magic that runs through the earth.
Hear me out here.
I don't think a 9mm is a large enough exit point.
Well, I mean, you have the tool here. This circle was, if Mordecai's notes from his mother is correct, this circle was designed to manipulate the force here. So we use this to focus and manipulate the force, and then we eject it somewhere else.
But if we eject it haphazardly, it's going to have unintended consequences.
Yeah, it does have to be focused. But
so we need a powerful vessel.
So, dude, and I think the vessel is that we take all of the firearms that we have in our possession and we ask the house to combine with them into a big anti-aircraft gun and then shoot it.
Could the house not just be a vessel?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but like, do we need to combine a bunch of gun parts?
I mean, it would be cool.
You're right, it would be cool.
I mean, okay.
Sort of trailing off a little, thinking to himself and doing like calculus in his head.
I mean, the house has an observatory, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like, could we use something in there to like? It's a good point to like shoot something out of, right?
Oh my God, Journey, you're a fucking genius, dude. We turn the telescope into the barrel of the gun.
Dan starts laying his weapons down on the ground and like taking all the flashlights and his phone and everything electronic.
There's 42 flashlights on the ground.
There's like
all lined up in a row.
Too long of a period of taking
Jason,
flashlights
this is
out.
where you put.
I was like, it keeps going on.
This is
for
where you
like-
put in the Foley sound of all of just like the metal clanging of just like a bunch of things hitting the ground.
God, an audio nightmare.
And it just keeps happening because he just keeps reaching into his endless bag.
It just keeps going on for way too long.
And lastly, he takes his glasses off and sets them on top of the pile. And he's going to roll up the sleeves on his jean jacket. And he walks over to the middle of the circle.
He's doing something.
I think I can be the vessel.
You mean like your body?
No, we're not doing that.
That's kind of sick. Hold up. Journey, wait a second.
No. Fleshy,
Mord.
not good, not durable. No, we're not doing that.
Well, what if we
I've
made
been
him
trained
durable?
to channel magical energy for my entire life.
Fuck yeah, you have been.
Okay, but are we missing out the important point of this is extremely dangerous and we shouldn't be doing that involving the body of one of our friends?
Journey, come on, brother.
Don't come on, brother.
I don't think anything else can take it.
I mean, we got a lot of flashlights.
What happens if you charge like 9,000 volts into a gun?
Oh, it's gonna explode. It's gonna explode.
I was never taught that.
I thought about putting it into like the explosives.
I didn't
that
take
got,
shop class
but
in high school. They made me take sewing.
That sounds fun.
That's really cool and that sounds really calming.
It was.
Can you teach us how?
Yeah.
Mord, you are the most connected to this, like your mom's research and this stuff. So I need you to activate it and just turn it full blast on me until the levels kind of balance out. I need you to blast me.
I can blast you, buddy. Dude, we're gonna get your body hard enough to endure the load, and we'll blast you.
Guys,
Got any more zingers?
I have one.
Those are like 3 in a row.
Can you stop for a second?
Yeah, what's up?
Do you not realize how dangerous this could be for both of you?
Yeah,
You're just talking about it like it's no big deal.
Yeah, but when you're, Journey,
Sure.
when you're like saving lives.
There's got to be some other way, you know? Like there has to be a smarter way to do this. Like I don't need this self-sacrificial bullshit from both of you.
We're not gonna die.
How do you know that?
Because I believe in Dan. And I believe in this house.
I believe in you guys too.
And I believe in you helping us. I don't know about Mothman, though.
Journey,
I mean,
I can't let you guys put yourselves at risk anymore. Like I have to do this to keep you guys safe.
Well, we're supposed to keep you safe too.
and we will, with our powers combined. What if we all channeled it together?
I think Mothman and Mr. Sitwell both nod their heads, and Mr. Sitwell says, "Yeah, this is incredibly dangerous, but 5 is a number that magic respects. And if we all help with focusing this magic, then I think we can do it safely.
As in, like, all of us?
All of us.
Bear the magic, or all of us focus blasting me?
All of us focusing the magic to pour into you, but I think a natural reaction of that will be all of us taking on some of that ourselves.
Share the load.
Okay, well, if I die, I'm haunting all of you bitches in the afterlife.
You find yourselves in the ley line, in this cavern below Mistrend with this magical circle and this white light glowing up and illuminating all of you. And you've come to this conclusion. Do the ritual and focus the magic and allow Dan to control the magic to redirect the comet or possibly even destroy it.
Dan, having shed his equipment and all metal on his person just in case.
Dan is naked.
No.
Not yet.
Not yet. That's for later.
Hey, I mean, if you don't want to destroy your clothes, you might as well.
Okay, Dan keeps his pants on, but takes his belt off, and then takes off his jean shirt, which has metal buttons.
Smart.
So underneath, he's just got like a white tank top. And he goes to the center of the circle, takes a few deep breaths, examines his tattoo, still fizzling with energy, and says, "There's no time to waste. Let's begin."
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Memester of the Week. This is a really wild episode. There's a lot of things that are going to happen to you very soon. I'm going to say my piece and then get out of your hair as fast as possible so you can just go back to enjoying the episode because it is very good. Occasionally, on Saturdays, we are still doing Streamster of the Week. Come hang out with us. We're playing a lot of horror games, a lot of indie games, a lot of adventure gaming. If you miss those streams, you can always check them out on the YouTube as well. Memester of the Week on YouTube, where you can listen to the episodes, and they also will have captioning. And then also any streams that you miss, we post the VODs there. We've played The Wolf Among Us. We're working through Alan Wake and Inscription. Nancy Drew. We're probably going to hit another Nancy Drew in October for Halloween because it's just a lot of fun. So there's that. We have a Ko-fi if you want to financially support the show, to just say, hey, we like what you're doing, and here you go. Ko-fi is the best way to do that for us right now. So thank you so much if you consider that. And of course, the mouth of the words, the word of mouth, is the best way for everyone to spread their favorite art throughout the world, especially podcasts. So let them know. Let people know what you like and the art that you love. And thank you so much for listening. Man, I love this arc. This has been really fun, and I'm really excited / terrified for what happens next. So, without further ado, this week's promo is for Shrimp and Crits, their new season, Dania, which they've been working on for a hot minute, and it is fantastic. So let's get you over there, and I'll see you back in the episode. Bye.
Gather round, everybody. Some stories are just best told around the warmth of a campfire. This one's about the Skywaymen, and how these three knuckleheads changed our cursed world's fate forever. It's a story about knights, old folk songs, and, if I tell it right, it's mostly about love.
Shrimp and Crits Dania is the second season of our actual play podcast with a southern twist. Join the Skywaymen, Sel, Cord, and Gree on an adventure to find lost loved ones.
I know the big lug's out there, somewhere.
Are you worried?
Nah, unravel the mysteries of the stars.
There's just so much nothing out there, and, well, I wanted to see a little bit of something.
And to discover purpose beyond our birthrights.
I don't want to be a builder. I want to see the world.
Shrimp and Crits Dania is an actual play podcast with a Southern twist, and it's streaming everywhere bi-weekly on Mondays.
You guys will take your positions around the circle. We're going to do 3 rolls here. So you have your knowledge of what's going on, but there is also this luck effect, this phenomenon of the ley line kind of going wild and ebbing and flowing. And so I'll ask you guys, should we roll 3d6 and take the 2 highest, or 3d6 and take the 2 lowest? Or should we make that a roll in and of itself of whether or not we should count high or low?
Okay, so what we've established is that everyone's getting breaks of good luck except for Dan. So I think everyone takes the 2 highest except for Dan.
Yeah.
Possibly. Or Dan always takes the 2 lowest, but everyone else gets a coin flip.
I prefer, just to make it simple, everyone takes the 2 lowest.
Everyone takes 2 lowest?
Okay, everyone takes the 2 lowest.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a super complicated, impactful thing. I think, like...
Yeah. Well, and this is not including the bonus that you have either. Because when you roll this, you will roll your normal weird stat plus an additional 2 from being so close to the ley line.
Yeah.
So there's still a high possibility of success here, but like the luck factor of this is kind of fucking with what's going on.
Okay.
Roll number 1. I'm rolling to choose who goes first. Like 1 to 2, Journey. 3 and 4, Mordecai. 5 and 6, Dan.
Okay.
Dan, you're the first roll.
All right. I will roll 3d6.
3d6, take the two lowest numbers.
The 2 lowest are 8, plus weird is plus 3, so 11.
Plus
what further
2,
modifiers are there?
Yeah, plus 2 from being near the ley line is a 13.
13.
Okay. So the first couple hours of this ritual, you tell me, what does it look like for you to start siphoning magic like this into Dan? What does it look like for each of you?
Now, well, there's me in the center, just to paint the picture. There's me in the center, and in the circle around Dan, there's Journey, there's Mordecai, Mr. Sitwell,
and Mothman.
Mr. Cold, yes, and also Abby. Okay, just radially spaced around the circle. Are you standing? Are you kneeling in an alchemy pose, like Full Metal Alchemist style? Like,
this is a 12-hour ritual, so I think like at the very least, both like Mothman and Mr. Sitwell are like sitting on their knees, their hands like placed into their circle. So very Full Metal Alchemist vibes.
okay.
I'm sitting crisscross applesauce. What do I see when I put on the glasses?
Ooh. Yeah, because the glasses let you see unsee things. The magic is so concentrated and like visually palpable here that it is not incredibly different, but you see like everyone's magical aura like shining brightly in this space alongside just like a wash of white. It's almost like you're in a white hot room. When you have the glasses on, it's nearly blinding.
I want to suggest a little bit of like static across your field of vision.
Oh. Okay. What color is Mr. Sitwell's magical aura? Is it the same as Journey's, or is Journey's more unique to her Fey blood?
Journeys is a like
Amber.
it is
orange.
an amber that has been like washed with a little bit of pink, like a pink lemonade kind of vibe almost. And Mr. Sitwell's is actually like a very dull amber. It's barely there.
Okay. It's like faint.
Yeah. Mr. Sitwell is is not a natural born magician.
Gotcha.
Everything he's like a proper wizard. He does magic because he learned what magic was and how to do it. Whereas Journey and Dan, to like all three of you, are like more along the lines of like traditional sorcerers. These are like inborn gifts of yours rather than just like book learning and training.
Okay. And what about Cold?
I think Cold's is like a wine red, similar to the color of his jacket.
I saw. I was picturing his as more of an indigo, but yeah, I like that too. I like the kind of velvet pairing with everyone else's.
The red makes a lot of sense because people keep seeing red glow in his eyes or whatever.
Yep. So. His mothy eyes.
Yeah.
You're so right.
I think also when you look at Mothman, you see beyond his glamour.
Is he a moth or is he a man?
Is he a moth or is he a man? He's a mix. He's both.
Wow.
He's both.
He's species
moth
fluid.
And man. So you see the fact that like the coat that he wears is functionally like his wings wrapping around himself.
Ah.
And the glasses are a facsimile of like what his true eyes look like, these deep red orbs coming out from like shaggy dark hair.
That's so cool.
And Journey, what are you doing with the spell circle?
I think what Journey is going to do is she's going to take her antlers and transform them into a sort of like staff stake thing, and she's going to push it into the ground like right around the circle, and she's going to take her grandmother's necklace off around her neck and sort of just like tie it loosely around the top of it and just kneel down next to it and hold on to it.
I think in this space, and because you don't have to like, you're not doing this in a high pressure situation, like you don't have to do this quickly, you can take your time doing that. You're not going to have to roll for your antlers. And I would say that for Journey and for Mordecai, using your antlers or using like Abby or even the blood magic will give you an additional die when you roll on this. So yeah, we have a 14 on that roll.
Yeah, so can I add a little bit of imagery as well?
Yes.
As they are all concentrating this power and using their various implements, the outer edges of the circle, I don't know what it looks like, if it's just a plain circle, if there's runes engraved in it.
Yeah, there's runes, there's alchemical runes and magical ones. Like traditional magical ones.
I think from the outside in, a wash of white light begins to illuminate all of them. And the center of the circle kind of opens like an eye or a mouth. And all at once, this like fire hydrant of arcane energy begins just blasting Dan. And Dan is at first a little taken by surprise and cries out in pain a little bit, but the energy kind of lifts him just ever so slightly off of the ground. And you see him grit his teeth and furrow his brow and clench his fists and begin steadying himself, taking in as much of it as he can.
So real quick, Clea, tough stat.
Yes.
And her traits are covert, introvert, and strong-willed.
Okay.
Tony, cool stat, pragmatic, and good under pressure. And JT is charm, a people pleaser, and very into botany. All of you have a bottle of serum that was synced to you by Mordecai, and LaFleur is also here.
He's always here.
Excellent.
He's been here the whole time.
I think it comes to noon the next day, and LaFleur has a doorbell ring at the door. He goes and he opens it, and it's Agent Smith with a couple more Agent Smiths behind him of various haircuts and sunglasses. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't think that we were clear. We are not taking visitors today. And Agent Smith cuts him off and says, yeah, I got you the first time. The thing is, we have reason to believe that there is a level of magical improperness going on with this house. And so you asked for a warrant. Here you go. And he serves LaFleur some
The
papers.
magical code violation.
Yeah.
Moshe.
So we have these agents entering into the house and moving around while the college gang comes in, and LaFleur is like, I'm so sorry, sirs. I don't think that our house is going to take very kindly to you just coming in and searching. You can try your best, but I will let you know that at any point that you start doing anything that would upset this place, we are not responsible for what happens to you.
Tony would like to nonchalantly close every door that is open and try to not make the path to where they are very clear.
Okay.
It's the next day, so
Time has passed.
we were probably able to see the comment last night, and then it's it's getting closer type beat, and then now they're downstairs. I would even assume it's safe to say that at some point we communicated to them that, hey, we're down here and we're fine, because 12 hours is a long time not to communicate with people after you went into a spooky cavern.
Yeah, before you started the ritual, you sent a text up of hey, we need to do a ritual down here. It's gonna be a while.
I imagine also probably LaFleur went down
Yeah,
to check on what was going on.
all the logical check-ins.
Yeah.
Yes. We didn't say it. We didn't state it clearly. We probably should have. But
Yeah, when you watch a
just to bridge that
movie,
gap.
that's not you don't have the person who oh yeah, hold on, I'm gonna send a text. You kind of just skip to
There's
between
an
beats
extent.
a lot of the times. Yeah.
There's an extent where we need to try to keep the lines connected so it's believable. But
Yeah.
that's a good thing to keep in mind.
Clea and JT, how are you maybe disruptive towards the goals of what these agents are wanting in the house? Or are you choosing to not be disruptive?
So, Jason, I'm low-key building a playbook for JT right now.
That's fine.
Does Clea have any siblings?
Ooh. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
So Clea is a French exchange student and has had a kind of a weird life.
We
We
Have a weird life. Yes.
Yeah, there's always been unexplained things going on in Clea's family, and the revelation that monsters are real is starting to connect some dots for her.
She's gonna think back to her younger, she has younger brothers that would pull pranks on her in the house all the time, and because they had watched the French version of Home Alone one too many times growing up, so she thinks, okay, well, we don't want them to we don't want them to get upstairs. So she's going to just do the first thing that comes to her mind that worked super well when she was a kid and soap the stairs.
Hilarious. I love that. Okay, Clea is going and soaping the stairs. What is JT doing?
So, Jason, I keep making the joke that JT is in like a kind of Blade situation.
Mm-hmm.
Can that be real?
Yeah.
Oh, sick. So if JT is in a Blade situation, then he will be a monstrous of the vampire breed, and one of his monstrous moves will be mental dominion. But he's gonna do it accidentally. This is the first time he'll use it. He's gonna accidentally dominate the mind of one of these Mr. Smiths.
Can I just come up with some shit for Tony too, then?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just fuck. Honestly, Tony has experience fighting vampires right now. So
I went to Google Playbooks and I just Googled Tony.
That's so fucking funny.
The Tony playbook.
Nothing productive here.
Guys, we are literally making the B team right now.
It's so good. Yeah, I love Clea soaping the stairs. JT starts like talking to the agents and like misdirecting them and ends up using mental dominion on them by accident and doesn't realize it. Tony, what are you doing with these agents as they are kind of like wandering through the house?
My plan was to try and confuse them by like trying to hide the path and make it as inconspicuous as possible.
Yeah, with the closing doors.
Okay. I think like absolutely.
Mislead.
I think for Tony that is we're gonna do a tiny roll for Tony. Teeny tiny Tony rolls cool with a +1, and we're gonna 2d6 +1. And I'm gonna say that you're working with the house, and this is what the house wants, so it's gonna be +2 in total.
Okay. 2d6 +1. Fire away. That's an 11.
Hell yeah. You do exactly what you want. The house helps you out. And I think Tony gains a bond with the house. So
let's go.
Anytime Tony needs to do something with the house, he will roll +1 in addition to his stat.
Great. And I think they're just like moving shit around and like making sounds, like throwing a book over in a direction, just trying to move unseen and cause distractions.
Really leading these guys in fucking circles. And the house is massive. This is going to take all day. This is their day. LaFleur, being the butler that he is, at some point is like, you guys are here anyway. It is against my rule of hospitality to not offer you drinks. Would you like something to drink? Slowly winning over these MIB agents as they are like trying to get something on
I'd
this
also
house.
like to think that as they're wandering the halls of this house, occasionally Clea will get up and walk around the halls with them and just pass by one of them and say, "Oh, Agent Smith had something important to say to you," and just point in a random direction.
Oh, that's so funny.
Just to continue. Yeah.
Oh, well, if it's from Agent Smith.
That's so fucking good. Awesome. Back down in the cavern, I'm going to roll again to see who's going to roll on this one. 1 to 3 is going to be Journey. 4 to 6 is going to be Mordecai. It's Mordecai.
Hello.
Mordecai, roll your 3d6 and taking the lower here for your part in the ritual, unless you want to use Abby or blood magic to increase the number of d6 that you're gonna roll.
I'm gonna use Abby first. Wait, do I have to use Would You Do It for a Scooby Snack if I want her to help with this? Or
No, it's fine.
Okay.
In the same vein of like, I'm not making Emilio roll for using the bone. We're trying to make this. The goal of this is to make it clean and not a lot of rolls.
Okay. So just
because we're showing a lot of things over time.
Okay, I'm just gonna put my hand on Abby's head and give her a scritch, and then just say, "All right, we're gonna try to make you a little grounding node, okay, buddy?" And then I'll take 4d6 then.
Yep.
And no plus.
Plus your normal weird, and then plus 2 on top of that for being near the ley line.
Okay, so total 3.
Okay, your lowest d6s would be 2 and 4, which makes 6, but plus 3 turns that into a 9. Mordecai, as we are going through and doing the next phase of this ritual, what complication comes up that you and Abby managed to solve, and how do you solve it?
This is from one of like the magical complications.
Not necessarily like the use magic complications, but just like what's something that's going wrong in this issue that you see and then quell?
So I'm kind of manipulating smoke to create this like magic tether between Dan and Abby and myself in like a triangle to help siphon off some of the energy between me and Dan and to get Abby to like ground it. But I'm pretty high, so it's a little hard for me to focus, and I get a little dizzy, and then Abby has to like take a break and like kind of help me. Like she kind of just licks my face to get me to straighten up, and then we do it again.
Okay, wonderful. Yeah, I love that. Above the world, out of the cavern, I think. With that mixed success, we see a shot of multiple black vans driving into Fort Collins. And we see through the windshield the hands of one of the drivers, the right hand marked with the eye tattoo of the Brotherhood.
We can have a billion Smiths, but those guys are worse.
Would it be possible to resolve that mental dominion? And
sure.
Okay, so JT is like casually talking to one of the Smiths, and he gets a little like anxious because he can start to hear the Smith guy's heartbeat, but he doesn't really understand it too much. He says, "Man, you know, God, it's really weird having all you guys in here. Like maybe you should just like leave or at least go get me some food or something. God, I feel so hungry right now." There's kind of like a glaze over in the Smith's eyes. Does he count as a regular person, or is he a hunter?
Yeah, he's a regular person. Like he's experienced, but he's not like a playbook hunter.
He will take that as an order, and he will follow that order.
Yeah, the Mr. Smith goes, "You're right. I could use something to eat too. What are you feeling?"
Oh, man, you know what would be sick? If you went into town and you grabbed us some T-Bell. That would be amazing.
Absolutely. I also would love to have a chalupa. I'll be back in 20 minutes. And he turns, walks out the door, and goes to get fucking Taco Bell.
JT like squints and was like, "Wait, was that not sarcasm? Was he being for real?"
So, and then immediately after that, Clea finds the next Agent Smith and says, "Oh, hey, Agent Smith wanted to know what you guys wanted from Taco Bell. Here, message this in the group chat." And she gives them just a fake number to text to. And she does that to every single Agent Smith.
I would like to start attempting to lock these guys in closets.
or just not even closets, but just like locking them behind doors that you don't know where they go.
Oh no!
Oh my God. I love the idea of like one random dude in Ohio getting a text from a government number that's just a Taco Bell order.
But he keeps getting multiple texts from different numbers about different Taco Bell order.
That's Steve is having
it's
a
actually
day.
just whatever politician is in that area.
Yeah. Steve from Ohio having a weird day, getting a lot of Taco Bell orders.
Yeah.
And they're all formatted like an email, and the first line is like, subject, Taco Bell order, classification level.
Oh my God.
Bravo.
It's all signed Agent Smith at the bottom of every single one of them.
Yeah.
Agent Smith.
Bro,
Yes.
there is an intelligence officer at their agency right now monitoring communications, and he is pissed right now because he has no idea what the fuck is going on.
God damn it, that's fucking good.
Are all these people compromised? Who the fuck is Steve? Who is Steve in
Oh my
Ohio?
God. Yeah. Tony, I'm gonna just let your house roll from the previous roll just fucking ride here, dude. Like, yeah, you're doing that. You're just locking agents behind doors. You don't even have the keys. This is the thing. You're just like, house, can you lock that?
No, I'm like shoving a bust in front of one door
God,
and like
awesome.
Yeah, but they still got their phones in there, so they're still texting their Taco Bell orders from inside the closets.
Oh my God.
Welcome to my house of horrors.
This is
so
your idea.
fucking good.
You did this.
I just love the idea that one of the Smiths goes outside, starts up one of their cars, fucking leaves, and is like, have you guys seen Umbrella Academy?
No, I want to.
Yeah. I
The
know. I think
meme?
I know the clip that you're talking about.
So there's like that famous meme from Umbrella Academy where
Yeah.
one of the, I'm sure the Brotherhood is familiar with MIB, but it would be crazy if they weren't. But they're like passing each other in town, and they like look at each other like, oh, that's weird. But then he's pulling into the fucking Taco Bell drive-thru.
Yeah. God, that's amazing. So back in the cavern, Journey, it is your turn to roll. So you are going to roll 46 and take the lowest and add your weird stat and +2 on top of that.
Okay. So, hold on. I need to... So 4d6. My weird stat is 3, so that'd be +5. 4d6 +5. Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
Hold on. I don't know where the just regular dice are. Here we go. 4d6.
It's not even possible for you to fail the roll.
Oh, I didn't
Actually.
do the +5 though. I didn't know how to add that.
No,
But
we can.
mathematically, it doesn't matter.
Damn.
You got 5.
4 and 5, 9.
And 4. Yeah, three 5s and a 4. So 9 plus 5 is fucking 14.
I think I'm good.
Crushing it.
Yep.
Yeah, Dan
hanging
just
out.
chilling, floating.
You're sucking in that energy easy.
Journey, as you are focusing down and like siphoning this energy through you into your bone staff that you've created, your necklace, and then into Dan, you feel that familiar, like warm presence of your grandmother and that amber light washing over you. And I think you have a brief vision, and I want you to tell me what is like a fond memory that you have of your grandmother.
I think we're like at her house, sitting in the living room. There's like a crackling from the fireplace across the sofa, across the room, and at her like long wooden coffee table, we just have like a 1,000-piece puzzle, and the two of us are like knelt down around the table working on it together.
What does it smell like? What aromas are
It
present?
smells like vanilla and cinnamon. Lots of baking smells.
Yeah. I don't even think that there's an exchange of words here.
No.
It's just a happy comfort to be able to idly pass time with someone you love. And this magic kind of surges out, and like we see like an overhead shot of the circuit, all of your magics coloring this white and causing it to blend together and push in towards Dan and kind of infusing Dan with this magic. And like we hit 14, 9, 14. The average of that is way above 10. Like,
hell yeah.
So I think, Dan, you get to choose what happens for you here.
You become God.
I'm going to say, regardless of if you change playbooks or not, or if, regardless of whatever playbook you change to, until the magic is released from you, you have the traits of the apotheosis from the Hex playbook without the dark tags. So you're moving without the consequences of the apotheosis, essentially. All the power, none of the consequences for a very short period of time.
You're like Dr. Manhattan. Dude.
Where is the hex? Hold on, let me find it.
That fucking alchemical symbol with the circle and line through it just starts magically burning itself into your forehead.
That is the symbol of control, so it would not be out of place.
Oh, that's sick. And you're fully naked now, glowing white. And we're going to call you Dr. Dan instead of Dr. Manhattan.
Dr. Danhattan.
Dr. Danhattan!
I think physically what happens is that physical form goes opaque and is just an undulating kind of base white with like rainbow washes of different colors, as you know, magic of all different varieties is just kind of like just bounding about within my form, and like you can't discern any features. It's just color. Like you can see the shape of my body, but just a floating LED light. What's happening in the sky right now?
Yeah, I think we get a shot. We see like Dan's completed form here, and I think the camera pans up from above the observatory of Mistran Manor, and we see this like glowing teal comet coming across the night sky, looming in over Fort Collins.
Dan just sort of looks around with kind of a newfound wonder for the world, kind of looks at his own hand, looks where the tattoo is, and I'm gonna say probably can't discern anything due to the light.
Yeah, I don't think you can see it. It's just a wash.
I look around at everyone, and I can feel like a connection to all of their magics, all of their auras. I don't think Dan says anything, just floats curiously.
Are you okay, son?
Dan?
Just kind of stares at Mr. Sitwell.
I mean, it worked. Oh, what are you gonna do now?
Wait, guys, do you think Dan is gonna, like, keep all that power now?
What?
Like, what if Dan's like a god now, and then we just become ants to him, and he's gonna leave with all this power, and then we die anyway?
He wouldn't do that. Don't freak me out like that.
Dan wouldn't do it, but would Dr. Danhattan do it?
Dan! Journey's just gonna call out.
I turn and look at Journey.
Dan, you're not evil or anything, right? We know that.
Dan just sort of tilts his head.
Okay, well, I'm feeling the sense that you're not fully getting things, but that's okay. Do you know what you need to do with the comet?
Dan just keeps staring, head tilted.
Mordecai, what do we do?
Journey, let's just do charades. Okay, I take my fist and I like gesture for the earth, and then I make my fist in like a ball, and I hit that location where I like circled the earth, and then I like pretend to be dead on the ground, and then I point to Dan and then I make like my hand into the shape of a gun, and then I point it at my fist coming towards the earth, and then I gesture for shooting, and then thumbs up.
God, I acted that out sitting here as you described it, and it's so fucking good. It is honestly perfect.
Dan's face is kind of smooth right now, but it still it furs
Do you have
a little
hands?
bit. And yeah, so he looks at his hands, and he clenches his fists and feels like a crackling of energy, releases it, and then kind of makes a gun shape with his hand and examines it.
And then I like cock my head, look at Journey, look at Dan with a thumbs up. Like, are we? Did that work? We good?
That work?
Okay, Journey, put your thumb up and look at Dan.
Okay.
And then like kind of cock your head like a question.
Okay, she does it.
Dan looks down at his hand and then looks up at Journey and then timidly raises a thumbs up.
Dude, we got it. We got it in one. So, Journey, I guess we should like take him outside. So we beckon Dan to come with us.
Great, we're gonna have to go through all the Smiths.
I don't know, Journey. I don't know how to charades him teleporting into the sky from here. So I feel like we could just kind of lead him out.
Yeah, maybe that's the best option. She's gonna reach out.
I yank my hand away and then put my other hand up, and then thumbs up, and then I turn it slowly to a thumbs down.
Touching, not good.
Journey makes a handle out of her antler and extends it to Dan to hold on to. Is this better?
Yeah, hold her stick, bro.
Dan shakes his head and looks sort of in the direction that you came from.
Okay, suit yourself.
And then looks back at you.
Puts them back on her head. Starts walking that way.
All right, let's go. Somebody lead.
I'm going.
Journey is leading the party.
Yeah, Mr. Sitwell will head up with y'all. Same with Mr. Cold.
I have my eye on Mr. Cold.
Mr. Sitwell will just like kind of get ahead of Journey just a little bit and kind of check things out. You guys have been getting text updates, I think, from the gang. You have a group chat going.
A signal down there.
And yeah,
must be the magic.
Actually, it's wild. Damn. They have 5G.
The magic's boosting the signal.
Yeah, it's the fully like opposite effect of what is like normally concerned, where like it would fuck with it. In this universe, all cell phone like technology is likely based on magic. It's magic's like it's technology's attempt at like creating magic. And that's why it like taps into the signal.
It's just
when it's
like
near the ley line.
in Transformers, where all the technology since the 50s has been based on Megatron or whatever.
Fucking Megatron. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you've been getting text, and Mr. Sitwell is like, okay, the MIB are up there. We need to get Dan. We need to get Dan to the roof as fast as possible without them interrupting us. So I'm going to run on ahead and make sure that you guys have kind of a clear path here, and you guys go ahead and head up. And so what I want to do is just like very quickly get an act under pressure roll to avoid these agents and anyone else who might be around to see how that goes. So I don't think it's whether or not they see you. It's whether or not they like have a chance to try and like interrupt you. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense. That's an 8.
Yeah. So mixed success. Yeah. I think that you are like, it's kind of hard not to, because the magic, like it is palpable. You can feel it rolling off of you. And so even Agent Smith that went and got Taco Bell is like, whoa, hold up. He came back with the Taco Bell, got everybody's order after a while. How did
he get everyone's order?
Yeah, he was at the Taco Bell and was like, why am I here? And then messaged his own individual group chat of Smiths And they were like, yeah, man, you were getting Taco Bell. Why didn't you get our number? And they like recollected the orders and sent it along.
You know what would be funnier? All of those messages went to Steve in Ohio, right? And then there's an intelligence officer at MIB intercepting the messages.
And he like forwarded
The intelligence officer calls the agent going to T-Bill super pissed. And the agent going to T-Bill is just like, oh, that's funny. I didn't get anybody's orders. What were they? And the intelligence officer gives them the entire order list. And just super mad and hangs up the phone.
He just puts him on speakerphone.
Yeah.
He just puts him on speakerphone up to the drive-through window.
Yeah. And he comes back with like bags and bags and bags full of fucking Taco Bell. The people at Taco Bell are pissed.
Everyone's pissed.
Everyone's pissed. Amazing. That happens.
Wait, and then
I don't even add to that.
This is such an unserious conclusion to this story.
When they spot Danhattan, they're all sitting in the floor, like the dining room, eating fucking Taco Bell on a break, and it's just Danhattan coming up.
And to add a little bit of color to what we see, as everybody's walking up the steps, I am floating off the ground. But I see them walking and I tilt my head and then I'm still floating, but I'm making the motion of walking as I move, following along everybody. Because one of Dan's most fundamental wants in the world is to be like everybody else and just be normal. So
It's instinctual.
Monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah. We see like the shot of everyone like in the drawing room having Taco Bell with like Clea and Tony and JT and LaFleur. Like even LaFleur's having Taco Bell. And then like the group and Dan go past and everyone like just sees them through the doorway like, well, something's going on over there. Kind of a vibe.
Oh.
They can't stop you, and I think they very quickly realize like whatever's happening here, they are outclassed. So they are observers to what is going on.
Yeah, they don't want to get Dr. Danhattan. So
they're
stay
like,
out of it.
Hold on. We need to. We're gonna just write some notes about that. We're gonna talk about that in a little bit.
We're gonna have a meeting about this.
Yeah. We get up to the observatory and even up to like the rooftop. And I think it's at like this point the vans of the Brotherhood of Dusk have like pulled up outside of Mistrend Manor, and we even see Dan. What does your father look like? I think we've described him before.
Dan's father, I think I described him before as being a little bit of a shorter man with kind of like a bald head and like a graying goatee and a very stern look. Probably dressed in a 3-piece suit, but with a little bit of flair, a little bit of blue and orange flair. Yeah, blue shirt, orange tie, orange pocket square.
And we see Tirigan Obelmesh get out of the van, out of the passenger seat, and he looks up and sees his son, a baby god who can barely communicate. Yeah, you are on the roof, like by the observatory, and I think you see the comet coming down and starting to break Earth's atmosphere, coming towards Mistrend.
Oh God, I really hope this works.
Okay.
I put on my sunglasses and I just take a seat. This is gonna be so cool.
It's like in a lawn chair.
Yeah, I'm just watching, just kicked back, smoking.
Like a Midwestern dad during a tornado.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Mr. Sitwell does the exact same thing. They just both sit in lawn chairs next to each other.
Hey, LaFleur, can you go get us like a cola or something?
Yeah, that absolutely.
Journey is just like pacing in circles, freaking out.
Dan sees his father, like he's looking out upon the great city of Denver. from atop this roof on the outskirts of town, and he looks down and he sees his father looking up at him. And I'm going to roll against my calming spell. How do I do that again? Act under pressure?
Okay. Yeah, act under pressure.
Because that's a
yeah, it's
a stressor that
upsetting.
I wasn't expecting. That is a full success. That is a 12.
Yeah, you are in even near godhood, you are in perfect control.
It's practiced. And I think even over the distance, Tierrigan and Dan have like a stern exchange of looks, and Tierrigan's is disapproving. It's like, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, you should just evacuate and leave this town to its fate. Looks exchange a lot of words between us. Dan's resolution is, I'm going to do things my own way this time. He just simply looks up at the sky, looks around at everybody, and then starts very rapidly just shooting upward in a cloud of magical dust. And the comet is rapidly starting to glow with this red energy, just heat coming off of it as it's starting to break atmosphere and getting extremely hot. And the sky above Denver starts to turn this blood red. And Dan, as he's rocketing toward this comet, starts focusing energy in this feet straight down, head tilted upward, hands outward, open hands, beginning to focus a white energy. And he raises his hands up towards it, and a beam of light starts pouring out, like a beam of white energy that ripples with rainbow pulses of color. What is happening, Mr. Keeper, as I try to stop this comet?
I don't think that there's a role here. All the pieces have been put in place so perfectly. And as your father looks on, you push this energy out and redirect the heavens themselves. The comet is hit with this. Yeah.
I want to add, I don't want to, if this is what's happening, I don't want to harm the comet at all, because it is an omen of good luck. So I would just like to harmlessly redirect it on a harmless path.
Okay. Yeah. I love that. I think as your father looks on, the comet is hit with this powerful surge of magic, and you choose to not destroy it. It would be easy to. It would be remarkably easy to, like crushing a paper cup in your hand. And the comet, in its celestial existence and magical significance, understands that and gives you a gift, a boon for your kindness. And so a small piece breaks off, and in the gravity of your magic lands harmlessly at your feet, a piece of the Azur's comet, the tear of Lilith. And you see the comet stop breaking the atmosphere, redirect along the gravity, no longer being magnetically drawn to what was familiar for it, and it passes overhead.
Since I rocketed up towards it to redirect the comet, I want to say that I was able to descend gently to the earth with the last of the energy just like burning off of me. I touch down on the ground in front of my father, the grass beneath me, unharmed, gently bending away from me. And I return to normal.
Tiergan stands in front of you, nods his head, and Tiergan gets in his car and motions for the rest of the Brotherhood to move out, and they drive off. And I think we have a final shot from the inside doorway pointing out towards the lawn of Mistrend, of just a behind the back shot of Dan, Journey, and Mordecai standing there together as the Brotherhood leaves.